welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Saturday. It is the weekly energy card reading, and what that is every week you, the viewer, get to choose from one of 3 tarot decks. After you choose, I go through and do a brief spread to see what the energies will be like for the next 7 days. I consider card reading to be like dream interpretation, so it is for entertainment purposes only. And what we do is we just look at the images in the card and try to discern a meaning. If you feel like the message is not resonating, then by all means you do not need to take it. There's a saying in card reading, we say take what resonates and leave the rest. So if you feel like that the messages are not really jiving, you could either choose another deck or possibly another video. It definitely is, no pressure. We try to make it very comfortable and just kind of loose energy. And again, it's all for fun, and this is, the purpose of card reading. But it does not need to be the week of October 10th through October 17th in order for the message to resonate. If you come across this video at any time, it could have nuggets of information for you. So this week we're going to go ahead and jump right in. This Friday is actually going to be a new moon in Libra. And this month is actually, the month of October 2020 is actually kind of a very special month because there was a full moon in Aries. There was no Pisces full moon this year. It kind of moved. It was a little bit further along in the degrees, and it just carried over into Aries. So what's going to happen is you're going to see, we saw a full moon on October 1st. We're going to see in Aries. We're going to see a new moon in Libra on the 16th, which is this Friday, and then there's going to be another full moon. This one's going to be in Taurus because, again, it's going slightly over the cusp into the next sign on Halloween on October 31st. And so it's really exciting. You actually have 2 full moons in the month of October, which is, again, given the year that we've had, is not unexpected. It's been a little bit nutty. But that's kind of exciting. And so the new moon, the one new moon, is this week. And so we'll definitely keep that in mind. Also, today, October 10th, is National Mental Health Day. And if you frequent my channel, you know that I love doing themed readings, and I love celebrating national days. I think it's just a nice way to kind of celebrate and do something different. So I always pull an oracle card. I pull an oracle card along with your reading. And today I'm going to go ahead and use the Ask Your Guides cards by Sonia Choquette. I do think that these cards are very good for mental health. I think they're very positive. I also think that they address a lot of issues that are kind of related to mental and psychological state. And, it's funny, I turn to it every single time anytime I'm feeling down, or anytime I need like a real honest answer for how I'm feeling, I really turn to this deck. So back in January of this year, when I did my 31 days of tarot, it was a video blog sprint that talked about some of my favorite decks, and that deck, was previewed in that video. If you want to check it out, you can check out my my playlist for the 31 days. It was I'll try to put the link to the video as well, but it's a great deck. It's really wonderful. And what I noticed is that in a video a few weeks ago, I had picked up a new stone, which is like a fire agate, I think. And this stone pairs with the card back so nicely. It's just really gorgeous. It's funny, I'd used other stones for that deck, but I'm really loving that combination. So I think that's going to be the stone that goes with that deck now. All right, but sorry, I'm a sun sign Libra. I like getting aesthetic. All right, enough blabbing. We're going to go ahead and choose your deck. We've got 3 decks to choose from. Again, decks we haven't seen in a while that we want to put into rotation. The first deck is the Linestrider Tarot by Siolo Thompson, and on top of it we have a blue fluorite. The second deck is the Tarot of the Southwest Sacred Tribes, and on top of it we have a beautiful red jasper eagle. And the third deck is the very first deck I formally learned tarot on, and that is the Greer Tarot, and on top of it we have a beautiful piece of sea glass. I went ahead and put the stones on top of the cards today, just because I was putting them underneath and I felt like they kept disappearing in the tablecloth patterns. So I'll put them there. I hope that's okay. If you like the artwork, or if you like the stone, maybe you like the timestamp, please choose from your intuition, whatever is pulling you from whatever is pulling on you. Go with that deck. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move up our other decks real quick. Really kind of excited. I just got back from vacation like yesterday, so I'm definitely keeping on track. I made sure that all the posts were scheduled as normal in my absence, so I'm definitely feeling very relaxed. All right, deck number 1, Linestrider. What's your energies for the week? Ooh, that came right out. Okay. Middle of the week, please. Okay. Oh, wow, guys. This kind of flipped over. It was not turned over in the deck, so we'll go with it. Wow, that's different. Okay. End of the week, please. Okay, thank you, thank you. All right. I am seeing the Ten of Wands is trying to pop out, and the Empress is cutting the deck. So I will keep that in mind as we're reading. And let's go ahead and get your clarifier, which is the Ask Your Guides card. I will read the description from the book. It just gives really a beautiful meaning, but we'll make it brief. And then this is also not only your clarifier, but your advice for National Mental Health Day. Okay, advice for mental health, or advice for the week. Ooh, okay. Okay, we're going to go with that one. No worries. I get this card quite a lot. It's got a really beautiful description. It's most helpful. All right, guys. So beginning of the week, you got the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you're working hard, right? We had a tarot on the Eight of Pentacles not too long ago, and it's talking about really, it talks about perfecting something, right? You see all these pentacles at her feet, on the floor, and she's holding up the current one, right? And then behind her, you see a cat. And what I think is beautiful about this card is there's a lot of purple around it, which kind of speaks to me of a crown chakra. But maybe there's something that you're really working hard at. Beginning of the week, you're really going to be working hard on something. It could be your career. It could be a creative project. From the vibe of this, you know what? I am almost getting a literal sense that you might be sitting on the ground. I don't know if you like to kind of sit, cross-legged while you're crafting. I don't know. Do you like to knit or crochet? Here, maybe make jewelry or something. Here, I'm just getting a real creative sense from this person. Like, almost like you're really taking your time to focus on what you're doing, right? The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that the Eight of Pentacles is about someone who's really engrossed in what they do, right? Like they're an artisan at their craft, and they enjoy what they do. But you know what? I'm honestly with the crown chakra colors, I'm almost getting a sense that you're coming to the apex of something, like you're perfecting something. It could be at work, but I almost get it like you're perfecting some kind of skill. Like you're really coming to the culmination of some kind of project. The other thing that I'm kind of getting is that you're really engrossed in it. It's almost like you'd rather be spending time doing this than anything else, right? Because that's the Eight of Pentacles, is being really good at something, right? So you might be kind of throwing yourself into your work. You want to get better at something, or I also get a sense of a little bit of perfectionism. Maybe the beginning of the week you stay a little bit later or longer to make sure something gets done right, is also what I'm kind of getting. But wow, guys, that's the beginning of your week. I think the other thing is you're accomplishing a lot. You're getting a lot done in a very perfect kind of way. Now, middle of the week, wow, this is Now you got two fives here, guys. So no fear. Fives just mean change, right? Because when you think about the four is the pillars, the cornerstones of something. And the five is an odd number, so it always means change. And just for the record, I'm born on the 5th day of the month, so anytime someone's like lucky number five, and they're like, well, five isn't lucky, and I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It does. It means change. The other thing that's good about fives is that sometimes fives can stir up stagnant energy. And that's a good thing, right? Because when you think about it, if there's no change, if you stay the exact same all the time, right? Where's the fresh air? Where's the movement? Where's the catalyst to move or move forward, right? Or to do something different, right? A lot of times it does stem from sometimes uncomfortable situations, but that's the purpose of change. The change is to move you along, right? It's to keep you going. Now, the middle of the week, though, you got the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is that competition card. When you see it in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it really it's in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it almost looks like more of a playful competition. But this week, this depiction of it, you see kind of two dogs or two wolves kind of going at each other. And then you see a bird that's kind of in the mix here, right? So honestly, there are no bad cards in tarot, but because the two dogs look like they're the exact same animal and they look identical, it's almost like looking at a mirror, right? And there's a little bit of red here, so I don't know if this is a dog or a fox. It really kind of looks like a dog or a wolf. But there might be a little bit of bickering going on. It could be between you and a sibling. It could be between you and a roommate, or it could be between you and a coworker. But I'm almost getting, the beginning of the week, I'm getting more of a work vibe with it being wands. Wands sometimes can be a little bit more friends, or what it is it's usually someone in your peer group, right? But that can be a coworker. But the vibe that I'm getting, and I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't think this is bad energy. Again, the five just is the five is as a catalyst of change. It stirs things up, but things getting stirred up, and honestly, people getting on each other's nerves. That's a sign of something, right? Like for instance, everybody gets like through world events, everybody quarantined together. You better believe people got on each other's nerves, brothers and sisters got on each other's nerves, husbands and wives got on each other's nerves. So, sometimes those little bickering fights, or those type of go at each other kind of things, they're not comfortable, but they really go a long way to help motivate you to see what's going on, right? And that's what conflict does, right? It's not pleasant, but it serves a purpose. So here, what I'm kind of seeing is I'm seeing two persons of equal energy, right? And that's the other thing with that's a match for the Rider-Waite-Smith as well. Everybody's got the same sized stick, and you're fighting each other, right? It is a little bit of a pissing contest, honestly. But and that's what I'm kind of seeing here. I'm seeing two people of equal clout getting on each other's nerves, either that or two people of the same energy going after the same thing and then running into each other. And what I'm kind of seeing here is that, yes, there will be some kind of blatant disagreement. I don't think that you're going to be biting or snarling at anyone, of course not. But I do think that there's going to be a butting of heads, right? And it's going to be, it could be that maybe somebody has one idea. Maybe there is a project at work and one person wants to do it their way and you want to do it the other way. And either that, or maybe you guys are arguing over something, kind of important. The thing I'm getting that it's almost kind of an important thing. Like, the way that this shakes out is it has gravity, right? But what I'm also kind of seeing is that I'm getting a vibe that you are going to disagree with someone, or you're gonna have a little bit of beef with someone that feels like a competition, but you don't. The other thing is that you don't know who's going to win. It's almost just like a back and forth, right? The other thing is that I think other people are going to be witness to this, and what I'm kind of getting is with that bird being in the mix. This could be on a public scale, and honestly, with everybody kind of social distancing right now, this could be an email battle or a text. Well, maybe not a text, or maybe in the other thing I can think of is maybe you're in a Skype or Zoom meeting, and there's a way for, someone else to see the exchange, right? And that person is a communicator, right? It's almost like, when I think of birds, I think of Twitter, or social media communications. But or this could be a third party that's trying to break you up. That's the other thing, trying to break up the fight. Maybe there was some kind of, I always call them nasty grams, where one person kind of sends an email. And of course, when it's an email or a text, you really can't get the tone because the subtext gets lost when it's words on a screen. And, maybe it becomes this kind of, one person emails one thing, another person comes back with something else. It starts to sound a little heated. And maybe a third party finally copies all and says, okay, all right, go to your corners, go to your corners. We actually talked about this a little bit with the Four of Swords, if you get a chance, Also, if this energy is really bothering you, I would highly encourage watching the Five of Wands How to Tarot. It might help you feel better. Sometimes watching those, and I'm not trying to plug myself, but believe it or not, sometimes I even go back to my own videos sometimes when I'm having a week where one card kind of has a prominent energy, has weight to it, then I'll go back and be like, okay, how do I deal with this, right? How do I deal with it? And sometimes talking it out or listening to how it manifests helps you manage it, helps you get through it. But yeah, I think that you might have a little bit of a throwdown. And I do get the sense that it might be via chat or Zoom or some kind of digital means. The other thing is that if it is, that it is going to be equal, and there won't be any, well, we're about to get to that. By the middle of the week, there won't be a clear winner. But by the end of the week, there will be. And so what I'm seeing at the end of the week is the last card that you got is you got the end of the week, you got the Five of Swords. And so I'm going to go ahead and call it here, guys. And this artwork is really quite beautiful. I like this one. I think we went with this deck for the How to Tarot. Oh, we haven't gotten to, I'm sorry. That's next week. Sorry, guys. It's not funny. And I was just thinking about this. Clearly, I just got back from vacation. I'm sorry. I'm kind of in a chill mindset, which is a good thing. All right. Well, now you guys know what deck I want to go with for the Five of Swords next week. But what we're seeing here is that you see someone in armor. And this is also a very different depiction. When you look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, you see one person who's clearly the victor and the other two people are defeated. And what you see as you see somebody walking away defeated, and you see one person wearing armor with all the swords stuck in the ground, right? I do like this depiction a little bit better. The traditional Rider-Waite-Smith has the person who won as just being a little bit of a jackass. He's kind of standing there like, look at me, I won, Here, it's more of it is definitely, you definitely get the sense of a hollow victory from this. And, even from the armor, I'm hearing an echoing. Again, I'm feeling hollow victory. Like it wasn't, so what I'm kind of sensing here, and the fact that these are swords, and I was getting a strong vibe about this being some kind of chat or verbal, I do think that you'll probably win this argument. I think you'll come out on top, but it's almost like you're going to have to take a few digs in order to do it. And it's not going to make you feel real good. You see him, he looks like he feels defeated. Now, you could be the person who's walking away, but this person has all the swords, so this guy is clearly the winner. So I do think that you won. I think that you won, but I think that you almost had to... I'm almost getting a vibe that you almost felt like you had to fight a little dirty to do it, and that doesn't make you feel real good, and it doesn't make you feel like the winner at all. But I also feel like I do get a sense that this was an important decision, and the other thing is Wands is very fire energy. It could potentially, the other thing that I kind of see is usually when the Five of Swords comes out, sometimes it can be those heat of the moment, especially when we have Wands in the mix. When you throw down with someone, you know how sometimes if you have any fire in your chart, sometimes when you throw down, it's not even that you're trying to stab someone. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a literature nerd, so I'm going to use this. I'm going there. I'm going to use this as a reference. If you've ever seen Romeo and Juliet, and the way Mercutio gets in the middle and he gets stabbed, right? It was not intentional. It was not intentional. And he's Mercutio staggers afterwards and goes, "A curse on both of your houses," right? "A curse on both of you. You're both jerks." Here it's kind of like that moment. It's almost like you got into the heat of battle, and I think the other thing is sometimes when you're in the middle of an argument, sometimes you undermine your own strength, or you overestimate the strength of the other person. Because of course, when you're in the heat of an argument, the other person is really, people start pulling out the guns, right? Verbally, that's metaphoric, by the way, guys. But people do, they pull out the weapons because they feel like they're getting attacked. And definitely these two people are, these are, and the teeth are the weapons, right? So the other thing that I kind of get is that maybe you used your words to kind of win this argument. Maybe you used your intellect. I also get the sense that there probably was harsh words exchanged. And the other person conceded, but you don't feel like you're the winner at all. You don't feel like you're the winner. You felt like you had to go to battle, and your armor was good. Your armor was good, but it's gonna feel like a little bit of a hollow victory. And I also get the sense that, with the Five of Swords, I think this person is thinking about what happened and what was said, and I think they are wounded. I think you're going to be wounded and the other person will be wounded, but you're going to come out the victor. It's just going to be a real, again, not the way that you really wanted it to go. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm just noticing this. There's numbers, they're just really tiny, and look what number you got. Holy Toledo. Another 5. 555. That's nothing evil, guys. That's not, it's just, the other thing that I'm getting a strong sense of is change. Change. Maybe something is changing in your home life. Maybe there's some kind of argument about something important, and again, you know, you feel like you have to stand your ground, but it's making it where you feel like you kind of have to do things a little bit cutthroat. So here I'm going to go ahead and read it. We've got loss, and loss is your healer guides. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of healing that needs to take place here. But sorrow, depression, grief, regret. Yeah, I'm definitely getting regret here. You may be entering or experiencing a period of loss, regret, disappointment, pain, and perhaps even grief. These feelings may have arisen from present painful circumstances, or they may be the result of a surfacing of unexpressed or unprocessed loss from the past. Whether caused by something in the past or present, your heart is ready to unburden your pain, and your soul is ready to grow from those experiences. Your healer guides are present to assist you in your healing through these difficult times. Those soothing helpers assure you that your present pain will transform into learning, and this too shall pass. Your joy will return. Ask your healer guides to help lift your heart and turn your loss and pain over to their loving care. Trust their counsel as they urge you to call a grief counselor, seek a healing massage, or pick up a book that will assist you in your current situation. Their message: seek sources of help. So there you go, guys. That's your mental health message. Seek sources of help. And especially if you feel like this is occurring in a home environment or with family or friends, I think you feel like you're really alone. I think the other thing is that look at those hands that are trying to come down and help you. There's hope. The star means hope. So, but wow, guys, I certainly hope that you take care of yourself, because that was a very strong message. But I hope that resonates and that you definitely take it easy this week, okay? Now, second pile, let's go ahead. We got the beautiful Jasper Eagle. So let's go ahead. It's the Tarot of the Southwest Sacred Tribes. I know the first name of this creator is Violeta. And I know, King of Cups, okay. But this Oh, you know, it's interesting. The King of Cups came up in, I think, deck 3 in the How to Tarot this week. So I don't know if you picked deck 3 in the How to Tarot, maybe this is your deck for this one, just to throw it out there. But I can never remember her last name, but all the names and authors are in the description box below. All right, so deck number 2. What's your energy for this week? What's the energy for deck number 2's week? Ooh, okay. Got 2 here. Oh my god, guys. This 5 of Swords needs to go. We haven't gotten to the 5 of Swords yet. That's next Tuesday. It's on Tuesday. Or is it Tuesday this week? Yeah, oh god, it's Tuesday this week. All right. But still, we shouldn't be seeing that in a reading like that. Ah. All right. There are no bad cards in tarot. All right, it's the middle of the week. Okay. 5 of... Oh my god, guys. I don't know if we have cross-watchers. The first deck, this is a very thoroughly shuffled deck. I shuffle the holy heck out of my decks, y'all. We got the exact same cards, different placements as the first deck. They got the 5 of Wands, they got the 5 of Swords. Wow. All right. I'm not being articulate. I just came back from vacation. The symbolism goes a long way. So let's go ahead. End of the week. Please give us something good. Oh. All right. No wonder it's National Mental Health Day. I think we're all feeling a little mental here. All right. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Also, just remember that this Friday, right around this energy, towards the end of the week, we got a new moon in Libra. And Libra is a very peaceful moon sign, you know? We don't like no drama. I'm a sun sign Libra. We don't like no drama. So this is going to be good, all right? This will get better. The other thing is the 9 of Swords can be worry over nothing too. So, okay, so for my deck number 2 people, what is their advice? What is their energy? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this out right under here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep the Grace card there. All right, we'll go ahead and give you 2, just because I think you need it. All right, guys. So beginning of the week, you got the 5 of Swords. You got the 5 of Swords, and underneath it you got Death. And death is not a bad card. It just means transformation, right? It just means that something that is no longer serving you is leaving, right? Something that's no longer serving you is making an exit out of your life. The other thing about death is that this is you notice how this is a deteriorated skull, right? This is not a fresh skull. This is something that might have needed to leave your life for a while now. Right? It's just the acceptance or the events that actually let that energy go. Because that's the other thing. This is a major arcana. And I always say, major arcanas are like the bigger life events. They're the bigger gears of a clock that turn the smaller gears, right? So the big gear of letting something kind of big in your life go, because it's time to leave. The other thing is we were talking in the previous deck about 5 meaning change. 5 is uncomfortable because change is uncomfortable, but it also it promotes movement, right? It doesn't allow you to be stagnant. So that's really a blessing in disguise sometimes, guys. And this is kind of what that's saying with your gifts. But so beginning of the week, I will be honest, I think that you might be experiencing some kind of, what it is the 5 of Swords is about winning. The 5 of Swords is the situation where there's winners and losers, right? And what I'm kind of seeing here is that the vantage point, because I'm going by the vantage point, we're looking at somebody who holds all the swords, right? And the look on their face is really like one of, okay, yeah, these are mine. You're not getting them back, right? So I do think that there's going to be some kind of verbal exchange at the beginning of the week. I do think that it's, just to throw it out there, because it's one interpretation of this, it could be in regards to the passing of someone. Like sometimes I see this combination if say for instance, maybe a grandparent passed away, and you're handling their estate, or there's communications that you need to have with maybe siblings or something like that. with other people about how to manage that person's affairs. And maybe you feel like one person is trying to control or win, more than another person, right? So those Fives of Swords can be, verbal warfare a little bit, right? The other thing that I'm getting is I do get the feeling, and I believe me, I don't like this card. There's a lot of cards that are uncomfortable in the sword suit, and we're doing the How to Tarot on the swords now, so we're going to be talking about it. Actually, if you get a chance, as you go through the beginning of the week, please check out the How to Tarot on Tuesday. I'll be posting it on Tuesday on the Five of Swords. So if you're worried about that energy, check out that video when it posts on Tuesday. I think it hearing the symbolism really does go a long way for helping you manage that kind of crappy energy. But I do get the sense, and I don't want you to be afraid, I do get the sense that you're going to feel like you're kind of the loser in a situation. And it doesn't mean that you really are, because the other thing is swords are thoughts, right? Just like the Eight of Swords can be you feeling trapped in your own head, it doesn't mean that you really are. And later when we get to the Nine of Swords, we'll reiterate that. But a lot of times you can just feel like you're the loser for some reason, right? Because the other person has all the swords, right? So I do get the sense that somebody may have manipulated a situation, and you may have been felt like you may have been made to feel like you were the loser in this situation because of actions someone took. And I definitely get the sense that there were probably words exchanged, probably heated words, but whatever, somebody won the argument and they won it really, they dominated the situation, and it wasn't a fair fight, right? It wasn't a fair verbal fight. So it did result in kind of a little bit of a death, so to speak. It could very well be, some type of breakup, or some kind of fight with somebody where they walked away feeling like the winner. But I definitely get the sense that you're going to feel like this person was, crowing, or like they just walked away, like, they completely slammed you. And then, but the one thing with the Death card, I do think that this was a situation that you were aware of. This is just, it's like, if there's a football game, right, there's plays, right, and quarters. I don't know why I'm using sports analogies, but this is one game, this is one play in an entire game, right? And the bigger game is a releasing of something, a letting go of something. So again, you might have called someone up, and this might have been a situation where you're ending a relationship with someone, and the other person just verbally, wipes you out and walks away with all the swords, right? But I do get the feeling like the perspective of you seeing that person, you're going to feel like because the Five of Swords, unfortunately, there's a winner and there's a loser. And if you're looking at the winner, then that means that you're the other party. But I think this is something that you've needed to let go. So the other thing that I kind of get is it's almost like you're okay with letting the other person kind of go ahead and crow. It's almost like, okay, yeah, one, go, leave. And that's what I'm almost kind of feeling. This does almost feel a little bit like a breakup energy, guys. I'm hoping that's not happening on like a Monday and Tuesday, just because Mondays and Tuesdays are hard enough. Geez. Now, the middle of the week, you got some beautiful energy. And as we go along, I'll read your card, because it looks like what I call a garland. And it kind of links. It connects the beginning of the week to the middle of the week. But middle of the week, you got the Five of Wands. And underneath it, you got the Queen of Cups. So, wow, guys, you know what? I am getting a strong sense, because I'm taking the symbolism into consideration here. I think you might have it out with someone. Like, you're kind of ending things with someone. And all of a sudden, people are kind of shunning you. Because the thing I see 5 people kind of, first off, going up the steps, they're sitting higher. They're sitting high above you, and their backs are turned, right? And the Five of Wands is that conflict card. It's about competition, right? I'm going to come out and say it. I think that whomever you got into this tiff with, whoever this person that you're feels like they really slammed you, maybe they, if this is like a friendship situation, maybe they went to all their friends and are like, don't hang out with him anymore. We broke up. The other thing, if it's a family situation, it might. I can read this two ways, but if it's a family situation, this person that you fought with, you're kind of you are going through some kind of cycle with. You might be ending some kind of association, and you doesn't mean that you're. If it's a family member, it doesn't mean that you won't ever speak to them again, right? But this kind of win or loser energy is really hard to get over. You probably will not have Thanksgiving. You won't come to Thanksgiving dinner for this person for a while, but. But the vibe I'm really getting is I'm getting like a social group because these are both fives, and it's like words, angry words, defeat, winner loser, and swords can mean social media too. The throwdown can occur, on a public in a public arena. And then all of a sudden, and you know how it goes. We've all been there where if it's groups, it becomes separation of alliances, right? And who are your allies? Well, I fought with so and so's posse, so and so's clique is they're so high above me, they're turning their backs, they're not even paying attention to me, right? So I can kind of read this energy one of two ways. The first way I can read it is that it's possible that the Queen of Cups. That the Queen of Cups is the person who called this exile into play, but that I'm not real keen on that. Just because normally the Queen of Cups in the upright is a very nurturing, sweet woman, right? So I'm just going to throw it out there in case that pertains, because we have quite a few people watch the read. So it could be that a Queen of Cups, but the one thing is a Queen of Cups is emotional though. But usually in the upright, it's very a positive expression of emotion. So maybe the Queen of Cups is one person that you kind of got into the fight with, and she's the one who's calling everyone else to kind of take her side. So that's one way I can read it, because this is competition, right? The other way that I can read this is that maybe if this was a breakup situation, maybe by the middle of the week you see this person, the person that you had the fight with. The other thing is that with winning and losing energy, it doesn't necessarily have to be very cutthroat. Usually it is, because it's swords, right? But if when there's swords involved, sometimes it could have been an amicable, like, okay, we're not compatible, let this be, let it go. But you hang up the phone and you're still feeling like the straight up loser, right? And then by the middle of the week, the fallout's beginning, right? And what you see is that person that you let go, or they let go of you, right? And you can be a man or a woman watching this. You can see the person that you let go of just being okay, right? Just being really emotionally strong, because that's the other thing. The Queen of Cups is emotionally strong. But then the same fallout occurs, her friends will definitely, because girl posses stick together, if your friend gets broken up with, and you can be man or female, it could also be that maybe, with the way that this looks, if a girl broke up with a guy, if you're a girl watching this, maybe the guy's posse is starting to shun you, like, okay, you defeated our dude, and the crazy thing is that you might not have even done the breakup. Maybe he did it, but he still feels defeated. There's a lot of victimization that goes along with breakups. It's not pretty, and believe me, I know. I feel you. I really do. It's not fun. It's never fun. But what it is that I almost kind of see you. The other way that I can kind of read it is maybe you're kind of holding your ground, right? You're holding your ground because, again, you're holding your ground while everybody, because you see how her chin is held up, right? And she's holding her own cup, right? So I really get the sense that maybe if someone's group or someone's friends are giving you the cold shoulder or something, you're going to be okay. You're going to hold your own. You're going to hold your own cup up, right? But if you're a man watching this, or if you feel like this is the energy of the person that you feel like you lost to, the other way that I can kind of read it is that she's just going to stand in her power. This person, man or woman, if this could be a man, is going to stand in their power. But the first step of any kind of ending is usually, okay, friends and family take sides, right? And that's just the way it goes. That's what happens. So that's just step one. The last way that I can kind of read this, and just to put it out there, the other thing that I can kind of get is, again, if you had an ending with someone, maybe you got broken up with, or someone else broke up with you, either that, or again, it doesn't even have to be relationship wise. If you had a fight with someone and all of a sudden, the way that I kind of read it, the last interpretation of the middle week energies is, if this was like a breakup, it could be that you're getting right back on the horse again. And this could be your energy or the other person's. But so one way I see it is like, okay, you got broken up on Wednesday, you cried for like Tuesday and Wednesday. You got broken up on Monday, or possibly Sunday. And then, you cried for Monday and Tuesday, because Monday and Tuesday are rough days anyway. And then by Wednesday, you got it together. Your friends your friends are on your side. Maybe the other thing is that maybe you start seeing people come out of the woodwork to surround your person. Because that's the other thing that I kind of see, because the 5 is competition. And if everybody's backs are turned towards you for being, or if you're getting shunned for any reason, what it might be is, you might start thinking, okay, this other person is so emotionally strong, and look at everybody circling around them. So it could be that situation where you kind of see it. I'll just do a man-woman scenario. Say a guy breaks up with you, and he won, right? You're feeling like a total loser. Okay, we're done. We're finished. I don't want to be with you anymore. By the middle of the week, all of his friends and posse, by the middle of the week, you're feeling really emotionally better. You're like, okay, let me cry a day, and then all of a sudden, he starts seeing on social media that all the guys who are afraid to ask you out because you were dating him start being like, you'll be okay, it'll be fine, So they're turning their backs on him, or the other person, and they're starting to flock around you, right? So that's another scenario. You can also reverse it, where if something happened and you feel like the other person won, and then all of a sudden you feel like everyone's ignoring you, and then they also have, people flocking around them going, are you okay? All the girls that, want to go out with him are going to start hitting on him now that you're out of the picture. But you're keeping strong, right? You're keeping strong. You're keeping it together. But I am almost getting more of a strength. I'm getting more of a sense that somebody might be surrounding a Queen of Cups, like taking her side. But let me go ahead and read. This is the gifts card. It's the Joy Guides. So we'll go ahead and read that real quick. And what it says is, this is actually a very positive card. It says, receiving surprises, kindness, blessings. The universe is constantly showering you with gifts. The problem arises when so many of these divine offerings go unnoticed and are therefore unaccepted. Your joy guides are on hand, though, acting as messengers to help correct this problem. They ask that you start counting your blessings day after day, taking care not to miss any or take them for granted. Your joy guides delight in showering you with gifts and encourage you to expand your heart's capacity to receive all that they have to offer. Start each morning by asking them to surprise you with something wonderful during the day. Then, just before going to bed, list all the wonderful things they've bestowed upon you. See how the list grows longer and longer each day. Their only request is that you acknowledge these offerings and thank the Divine Mother and Father God for their endless generosity. The Joy Guide's message: open your heart and expect good things to come. So guys, I think that's beautiful. I think honestly, if this is some change or conflict, it's, again, with it being death and the Queen of Cups, I think it's something a long time coming, because death is also ruled by Scorpio. It's transformation, right? Maybe you know how what they say, rejection is God's blessing, or yes, rejection is God's protection, right? So maybe I'm really getting a strong sense of blessing in disguise. The other thing is that, sometimes these situations can really flesh out false friends, you know. Again, I think you're going to be in an emotionally strong place, or you're going to call on your inner emotional strength. But I do think that it's telling you to help navigate this energy. Just count your blessings. The other thing is that if one person's leaving your life, take stock of the other good people who are really there for you. Because remember how I said how all these people are kind of turning their back? I really get the sense that maybe you are kind of filtering out some people who weren't very good for you, but then the people who stay and who are always there for you are really proving themselves, and they're helping you to be strong, right? Now, the end of the week, we got some interesting energy. You got the Nine of Swords. So that is definitely a lot of anxiety. That's a lot of anxiety. Honestly, if you're a guy watching this, and I don't like to get into genders because it really isn't gender specific, it doesn't matter. But if you are a guy, I think that it might be a little bit of a breakup situation. You might see this woman being emotionally strong, but you are feeling the fallout of it. It could be that, again, you might be getting the ripple effect of the action. And then you might be really just kind of anxiety bound about it. The other way I can kind of read it is that if you felt like you were the loser and this was something that was meant to go again, you're doing your best to kind of keep a stiff upper lip, so to speak. I do think it's hard for you. I think by the middle of the week, you know how sometimes when something happens like that, you're really strong at first, but you have your moments. And it's the other thing is that the Nine of Swords is that up late at night card. So I do think that by the end of the week, you might be kind of staying awake at night, or you might be having a lot of racing thoughts that's keeping you up late. The other thing is that on Friday, the 16th, it is it's a new moon in Libra. It's a new moon in Libra. So, not to get all woo-woo with you, but, there's things that you can do, like especially positive affirmations. If this is a relationship thing, a new moon in Libra is an excellent time to kind of clear your energy and ask for new positive relationships, especially Libra rules relationships. That might be a good time to kind of do a little prayer. And again, it doesn't have to be all woo-woo. You could pray to God. You could pray to your angels, whatever your higher power is. But I think at the end of the week, you are going to be all up in your head, right? And I feel like it's because of some kind of action that occurred, but it was an action that was meant to occur, right? I am getting a sense of, rejection is God's protection. So you might have felt rejected, and you might have felt a little shunned. You might have felt like you did something wrong, it's difficult, it's like sometimes doing the right thing isn't easy, right? Now, the last card, and you got two of them, you got number 39, which is grace, and I think this is great. I honestly think this is a really beautiful energy, and it's the dove of peace, which is also a very Libra sign. We try to be balanced, try to be peaceful. But it says harmony, beauty, prosperity, and elegance. The Holy Spirit is filling your life with grace and ease. You're aligning with your purpose, and your discipline and focus are paying off. Everything you touch seems to transform into prosperity and beauty. This is more than luck. It's the reflection of the Holy Spirit flowing through you. The more you surrender to this divine energy, the more you're gifted with synchronicity and flow. Trust your immediate impulses and act on them without hesitation. The Holy Spirit is helping you make the right choices at the right time. The greatest challenge is to hold on to the joyous and natural, healthy self-esteem and not allow others to throw you into self-doubt. Oh, look at that, guys. Believe in your dreams, your spirit, and yourself. Pray for the strength and to keep your focus clear and your heart open. The Holy Spirit's message, walk in grace, all is well. Wow, look guys. And you know, it talked about letting other people throw you into self-doubt. Look at that. You know? What is that saying that I always loved? I haven't quoted it in a while. What is it? The way people treat you is their karma. The way you respond is yours. Right? And so I do think that, I think you're on the right path. I think I'm really getting a sense that these energies are the same. But so your quotes, you got 2 quotes for your mental, so to help your advice for navigating the week, and your quote for National Mental Health Day is, open your heart and expect good things to come. So try to be, even though negative things, even though challenging things are occurring, you know, open your heart, try to be receptive, because you have a lot of good in your life. Remember the good, right? When things are bad, remember the good. And then under grace, it's walk in grace, all is well, right? Do not allow others to throw you into self-doubt. So whatever decisions you make are the right ones, you know, just stick with it. Stay true to your heart, right? So wow, guys, that's really powerful. That was really cool. So we'll go ahead and we'll put your eagle. The other thing is, that's a scorpionic symbol as well. Evolved scorpionic energy is the symbol of the eagle. So that might be a little bit of your death card there. So it's not too scary. So last deck, the Morgan Greer and the beautiful sea glass. Sorry, trying to talk. So deck number 3, what is your energy for the week? For the beginning of the week, what's the... Okay, we've got 2 cards here. We'll take them both. Oh, wow. 2 majors. Middle of the week, please. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Thank you. Oh, my God. We've got all majors so far, guys. Holy Toledo. End of the week, please. All right. Well, you got a page at the end. That's cool. That's wild. All right, our advice. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right, I love this card. I get this card quite a lot. So, wow, you got a real powerful week. First off, I'm going to reiterate. Anytime you see majors are major events. But just because you have 4 majors in a week doesn't mean that like a meteor is going to fly out of the sky and hit you in the head. No, it's nothing like that. What it means is that you're going to have kind of like the wheels, the gears of a clock. There are bigger life events that, you know, turn, you know, like when you go to college, when you go to school, and then later you get a career, and that career helps you grow and you know, climb the corporate ladder, and you get more money, and then you buy a house. It's almost like it's these bigger events in your life that kind of trickle down and, you know, affect the you know, your years, your months, your weeks, your days, you know, your weeks, right? So when you see 4 majors, it just means that you're going to see more of the manifestation of some major life events this week. So no pressure, no pressure. It doesn't mean a meteor is going to hit you in the head. It's just you're really going to kind of see the manifestation. Like maybe you've been working in a certain position for a long time, and then all of a sudden, you know, the promotion you've been working for, that's going to, you know, give you the opportunity to propose to your girlfriend, to get a house, get married. That's kind of like it, you know. Okay, the time is now. What you've been working for this whole time is starting to hit, and you're going to see it this week. But what we're kind of seeing here is that the beginning of the week, you got the Fool, and crowning it, you got the Emperor. So that's really wild, guys. That's, you know, that's the 0 and the 4, which is, yeah. So what I'm seeing here, guys, is that beginning of the week, you notice how both of them are facing the same direction? I kind of read this one of 2 ways. I get a strong sense that maybe this week, maybe some kind of, I am getting a job kind of feeling. I'm getting kind of a job kind of feeling. But Or potentially, this could be like a father figure, right? It could be a father figure or someone that you respect, right? Someone in authority. But what I'm kind of sensing, the first way that I kind of read it is some kind of endeavor that you dared to do, right? In the past. Some kind of endeavor that you dared to do in the past is turning you into the emperor. So a lot of times I do kind of think of that as job related because the emperor is the king of kings. He's the CEO. He runs the show, right? He is the man. He's the man. He's the institution, right? So what I'm kind of getting is that I'm getting the feeling that some kind of chance that you took is manifesting as you being the emperor, right? Maybe you spearheaded some kind of project at work and you were just a project consultant, and then all of a sudden you got promoted, you did a good job, and now this week they're like, congratulations, you're the head of the department. It's like you feel like it feels like your endeavor paid off big, right? You are the emperor, right? You're the emperor. Now, the other way that I kind of read it is because the Fool is coming out underneath and they're both facing the same direction, this could potentially be an opportunity that's being given to you. Again, with the Fool having the dog and having the white rose, it's almost like a really big opportunity is being given to you by an emperor type of figure, right? And that opportunity could be from a grandfather. Maybe your grandfather is helping you out. Maybe they're giving you money to go to college. Maybe there's some kind of one other way I can kind of read it is maybe you're an inventor and you need a backer, right? You have some kind of grand idea that you're chasing, that you want to chase, and someone's going to give you the opportunity to do that, right? They're really going to help you. Now, what I'm kind of the last way that I kind of read this is that it's and again, when we get to your self-help card, this is what's kind of making me think this is that it could be that you might, just to throw it out there, you might be coming across as a little foolhardy in the presence of an emperor type of person. And that can be, again, it can be the head of a department, it could be a CEO. But I am getting more of kind of I'm getting kind of an avant-garde kind of feeling with this. Like, I do think that the Fool in the upright particularly is stepping off the cliff and knowing the universe is going to catch you, right? And it's crowned by the emperor. I just get the feeling at the beginning of the week, one last interpretation is that I think at the beginning of the week you're ready to take a chance on something, and you're when you take that chance, you're all in, right? The other thing is that you've got it planned out. You've got it planned out in your head. Like you're not a fool. You're an emperor, and it's like, this is my idea, and I know exactly how this. It's again, the emperor being like the emperor of a country. You don't go into anything, half-hearted. But the other thing you got to remember is the emperor is ruled by Aries, which is a very dynamic. It's a strong. It's a it's a doer, and you see how much red is in this. But the last way that I kind of read it is because the lovers are divine counterparts, divine masculine, divine feminine. The last way I can kind of read it is maybe at the beginning of the week, you are ready to take action about something. It's almost like you're ready to step off the cliff. You're ready to step off the cliff. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to be the emperor to someone. And being the emperor to someone might be stepping up and saying, if you're a man watching this, or you could be a man or a woman in this energy, but you know what you're going after. And with the middle being the lovers in the tower, I really get the sense that maybe you might be going after someone romantically and being like, okay, I'm your emperor, right? You're my empress. I'm your emperor, right? Because the other thing is the empress is the divine counterpart to the emperor, and she's the it girl, right? She's the, she's the person that everybody, the ultimate feminine, right? And, again, sorry, when we get to the middle of the week, I'll tell you what I'm giggling about there. But you're ready to step off the cliff, right? You're ready to step off the cliff. And again, both of these characters are facing towards the past, but again, with this being all majors, one other way that I can kind of read this, just to put it out there, is that with all of these energies, with the middle of the week and the end of the week facing this direction, it could be that you might feel like somebody is leaving your life a little bit, maybe an emperor like character, and they're starting off on a new journey without you, right? So that can be sometimes, maybe I don't know, maybe if you're moving out of the house, like say for instance your parents are ready to retire and you're ready to live out on your own, and so your father, who's the emperor, right, is that you're not staying in the same home at all. They're moving to a new retirement community where you will not live, so that's going on a new journey, and then you're going off on your own way, right? So that's one other way I can read it. You might have like a father figure who is starting their own journey and it's going away from you, right? And you're okay with this. It's the new phase of their life, because remember, these are major phases, right? But it shows up in your week as a major transition, because it's somebody who's that's been in your life thus far, and if they're leaving it or impacting it, they're not, they might not be there anymore. But I don't see that you're upset about this energy. I actually see that it's very positive. And actually, all three decks had a lot of change in it, right? And we have 3 moons. We have three. We have 3 moons in. We have 2 full moons in the month of October, on the 1st in Aries, and on Halloween, the 31st, in Taurus. So those are big changes, right? Big changes. And this week is the new moon in Libra, right? Now, one thing is, I am seeing a lot of battle energy here, though. That's the only other thing. So the next thing that we kind of see here, and this is interesting, guys. It's real interesting energy. The last thing that I can kind of see is that with it being divine masculine, I can kind of see him, somewhere, at the beginning of the week. I'll read it both ways. What I'm giggling about is this deck is, there's a little bit of nakey bits. It's not terrible, but what I love about it is this deck was created in the 70s. So, of course, Adam in the Lovers is very Christopherson, esque. And he's got hairy butt cheeks. I'm sorry, I giggle at that every single time. It's fine. It's okay. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just the cross hatching on that is just so amazing. But what we have in the middle of the week is we have the Lovers. We have the Lovers, and underneath it we have the Tower. And what I'm kind of seeing here is, I do see, what I'm really drawn to is the 2 figures. And again, the Tower is always a intimidating card. It doesn't have to be a bad card. It just means sudden action, right? A lot of times it means sudden action. So there is kind of 2 ways I can read it. At the beginning of the week, if you're man or woman watching this, you might have an opportunity that you are going to follow. And you're starting that journey. You decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do because I'm the emperor, right? The other thing is, the emperor's very controlled. He knows he's planned this out, right? There are no missteps with a plan that the emperor drew up, right? He does what he wants to do, and it even his eagle is facing this way. So I'm getting the feeling that it can be one of 2 things. It could be you, a divine masculine figure, declaring that he's gonna start a new project, and it would impact the divine masculine or divine feminine. I don't think that this is any type of divorce. I don't think it's anything like that, but it's a sudden decision that impacts her. Because divine masculine, divine feminine are together right here, and that's the Lovers. The other way that I can kind of read it is that, again, I think maybe if you might have a masculine approaching you in the middle of the week, and it might be out of the blue, like really sudden, like boom. But the person had it planned. if this is your energy, I'm getting more of you going on a new project, because again, the direction of it is this way. It's almost like you're pulling away from the Lovers, and it's a choice, right? The other meaning of the Lovers is a choice. And with the Tower being there, it's almost like it's kind of like a choice to not let this connection continue. But it's interesting, there's a duality with the Lovers. The other thing I just wanted you to notice is that when you look at the numbers, the Roman numerals, it's IV, which is 4, and then the 6 is VI. So it's like the reverse, it's the opposite of it, right? And but what I really see here is that it could either be a sudden declaration of love from a divine masculine who's decided, okay, I'm going for this. This is my new start. We're going to do this, and I choose you. But it's going to come across as really, kind of a, like a lightning strike. It's going to be a real surprise. It's going to be a real unexpected declaration. The other thing that I can see is that it could be a potential break up a little bit, because again, we have a divine masculine who's headed a different direction with the Fool, ready to start something. And the Tower is the flaming tower, it's the breakdown, so it'd be kind of the breakdown of the Lovers. But the last kind of meaning that I get from it is that it could be the breakdown of someone's walls, so to speak, right? Like letting, because I'm getting such a positive thing from the Lovers. I get such a positive energy. The only other thing that I can think of is that this could potentially be that maybe this Emperor needs to end one commitment, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. I'm not seeing the Three of Swords or the Three of Cups anywhere. I'm going to just take one clarifier. Please clarify the relationship here. Oh, wow. We got the Two of Pentacles, guys. I see you balancing. You have to keep you keep spinning plates. You have to, and then with the ship sailing in the background, it's almost like, I do get a sense like you might be torn between work and love. You might, in the beginning of the week, you might be offered something like some kind of new opportunity that keeps you in the Emperor's energy. And in order to follow it, it's going to make you, the middle of the week, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to make a choice and leave, let something crumble. You're going to have to let, almost like a love situation, you're going to have to make a choice to not stay with somebody. But this is a divine masculine. And I think up until now, you've been trying to juggle it. You've been trying to keep both of them in play. But that's the thing about the Two of Pentacles. At some point, the pentacle has to drop, right? It's almost like a hacky sack. You're kicking, I'm sorry, that's a weird analogy. Have you ever seen the movie She's All That? And you know how when they get Zach up on stage to do improv, improv emotional acting or whatever it is that she does, and he has a hacky sack, and he starts kicking the hacky sack, and he's like, can't ever let the hacky sack drop. And then at some point it has to, right? You can't keep it in the air all the time. I'm hearing that scene for some reason, right? But by the end of the week, to be honest, guys, I don't think that what I'm almost getting is that I think that you're trying to juggle these two responsibilities, but one of them is deteriorating, right? And the other thing is that this other relationship would be really impacted by your new plans, right? What you're doing. It's positive plans. It's really positive. But it would be detrimental, and it would force you to make a choice. You wouldn't be able to keep juggling both, because your ship's going to sail, right? One of the ships is going to sail, and you're going to be so busy, juggling the two that I feel like you're afraid of missing an opportunity. But these events have been going on for a while. They've been going on for a while, but I feel like this is almost like an opportunity to do something that'll keep you in the Emperor power, It could be taking a job. You know, this could be like you being offered a job in another state and it takes you away from someone. And of course, that would be like a tower. Like I'm moving. I can't, I can't stay. And it's a choice. Um, sometimes the Two of Pentacles is refusing to make a choice. But wow, the end of your week, I'll be completely honest. You got the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is an observer. He watches from a distance. I think that if this is some kind of choice that you make, you're going to be doing some surveillance online. You'll be, if this is some kind of separation from someone or some kind of choice, you're going to be watching the situation carefully. Maybe you'll be texting. If the Emperor is a separate person, you might be texting your boss. Or you might be watching the social media of this feminine, just to see what's happening, where she's at. The other thing that I can see is that maybe, again, the Page of Swords is a very novice energy. It's not a mature energy. So if there was, I almost kind of get that it's almost like your plan is that you know what you're going to do, but you're taking a risk. You're taking a leap of faith. And, by the end of the week, it's almost like the Fool and a Page are very similar. They're very youthful, right? So it's almost like, and these are major events, right? So whatever tower, just to read it, guys, I mean, honestly, it could be that if you've been juggling work and you've been juggling a relationship, you might actually finally take the risk to really kind of do something permanent with someone, or you might take the risk to actually, say, okay, we can't be long distance, we can't do this anymore, and let it crumble. But by the end of the week, you're still in that fledgling energy of just texting the person or still talking via digital means. But I am getting a stronger sense that you're probably just watching the social media to kind of check the fallout, right? To kind of check the status of things, take a pulse. They always say they refer to this as taking a temperature when you're trying to figure out where someone's at, and you're not really talking to them or seeing them face to face, which I don't think any of us are seeing each other face to face a whole lot. But I do think that your energy at the end of the week is going to be more, text here, text there. It's not going to be heavy energy at all. It's going to be very light energy, and it's going to be a lot of gauging, a lot of interaction on a social media level, but a lot more observation. And I think it's you that's doing the observation. It's you that's doing the observation. The last way I can just read it, just to throw it out there, if this is taking a risk with a relationship, you guys are texting at the end of the week, right? You guys are in communication, simple, like DM kind of stuff. Now, the card, your advice card, and you got competition and warrior guides. It's number 17. So let's go ahead and read it. This is a really interesting card. You've got, you got kind of a tug of war there, and then you got what looks like warrior guides. And the other thing is the Emperor is really in this energy, guys, because look at it. You got like someone who looks kind of Genghis Khan, looks kind of Genghis Khan there, and you got the Emperor in your spread, So let's go ahead and read it. So competition, 17. Strife, arguments, conflicts, battle. This is a time of conflict and challenge, pure and simple. No matter how you look at it, confrontation and discord are on the horizon. Others don't agree with you or see your perspective, and they don't intend to cooperate with you in any way. This could surface in such serious ways as legal battles, divorce proceedings, and contract negotiations. Or it could be an impasse with a spouse over a raised toilet seat. Whatever the issue, there's no immediate or easy resolution. You've attracted a worthy opponent, so prepare to go the distance. This is not to assume, however, that such combative scenarios are always a bad thing. Your warrior guides are present to enlighten you about the benefits of sparring with others. Competition brings out your best and unleashes your passion and commitment in what you believe in. It develops your strength and prevents you from being victimized or manipulated by others. And it teaches you the need to respect others too, and not mindlessly impose your will on them. Your warrior guide suggests that when you do battle with others, it's best to fight fairly and learn from conflict. Don't compete just to let off steam. Fight for progress and higher understanding for all concerned rather than just being difficult to get your own way. Hidden within the drama of battle and competition are the seeds of true understanding and compassion. The best spiritual warriors always strive for a win-win outcome. Your warrior guides suggest that you embrace the battles at hand and find your strength and reach for growth. Fight the good fight with your adversaries, but pray for divine justice to prevail. Not just your personal version of justice. Their message: fight fair, but concede when you are wrong. Wow. That's wild, guys. That's wild. I am getting 2 financial obligations here, right? Or you're trying to work for one person but stay with the other, but there's a faulty foundation here, right? But that's really amazing energy because, wow, guys, we got a lot of 5s in this whole read for all the decks. And, we saw in the first 2 decks, we saw the 5 of Swords come up both times. And 5 of Swords is about win-lose. And this is talking about win-win, right? The other thing is that this Friday is the new moon following a full moon in Aries, which is the Aries Libra axis. And what that is that is about competition, right? The Emperor's ruled by Aries. The Lovers is ruled by the balance of 2, that's like the scales. It's like Libra, relationships. I really get the sense that, these 2 moons, and when you go into your new moon, it talked about justice and fairness, which are Libra concepts. That's going to be Friday's, new moon. So I do think that if you're running into some kind of tough choice or some type of tough situation, especially if it involves love, or a relationship, I would definitely try to harness the energy of that new moon and try to make it a win-win. Remember, it said, fight fair and admit when you're wrong, right? Don't fight for the sake of fighting. Fight when it's fair and it contributes to the higher learning, understanding, and compassion of all the parties involved. So, wow, guys. Oh, that was deep. All 3 of them were really deep, guys. But I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for checking out the read. I sincerely hope that everybody has a good week. If there were some cards that had particular themes, please, maybe watch the How to Tarot or rewatch the area that had your Ask Your Guides quote or the paragraph that we read, because I think that will help you. It's National Mental Health Day, and that's your guidance for the week. And we do have some challenging energies there, but it's going to be okay. Change is necessary. But I'm glad that we ended on that card because I think that's a positive note to end on. If you did get the 5 of Swords in your read, please feel free to check out the How to Tarot. It'll be up on Tuesday. We're actually going to be talking about that card. So, I feel like it always helps to kind of understand the meaning so you can help, mitigate the energy. But I hope that you're having an excellent week, and I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to stop back by for the next video, and I'll see you then. Bye.